Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Iraqi Dinar News channel. Today's update is one that has communities buzzing louder than ever before. People everywhere are talking about a phrase that keeps showing up in conversations Trump takes: the next step in the RV process, or years. Talk about revaluation has come and gone, with many feeling like the dream was slipping further away. But now, with Trump's name being attached to the story once again, the level of energy is off the charts. Why? Because Trump is not just a political figure. He is often seen as someone who makes bold moves and doesn't shy away from controversial steps. That alone makes people wonder if the RV is entering a real, very important stage today. Viewers across the world are holding on tightly to this conversation, and it is easy to see why. The revaluation of the Iraqi dinar has always been seen as a once-in-a-lifetime financial shift. It is not just about money, it is about freedom from debts, from economic struggle, and from the feeling of being left behind. So, when communities hear that Trump may be directly connected to this next step, it feels like something bigger is happening. Imagine the kind of weight it carries when people believe a former U.S. president is not only aware of the RV, but is actively stepping into the process. That idea alone is fueling imagination and hope across countless forums and daily discussions worldwide. But let's pause and ask, what does next step in RV process actually mean? For some, it means critical meetings behind closed doors with global bankers, central banks, and policymakers. For others, it means the signing of documents, approvals at the international level, and the kind of quiet alignments that don't hit mainstream headlines right away. No one can say for sure, and that is part of what fuels the excitement. The mystery surrounding the RV keeps the story alive. Every little rumor, every whisper about Trump's involvement, becomes a spark that sets entire communities buzzing, with new conversations about freedom and change. It is important to understand that Trump has always been tied, in one way or another, to conversations about money, deals, and negotiations. He built his reputation as a businessman long before stepping into politics. That background is what makes people believe he might play a central role in pushing the RV process forward. Supporters see him as a leader who refuses to be held back by tradition, someone willing to challenge the old systems that control global finance. Critics, however, call him unpredictable and say his involvement could shake markets in ways no one expects. Either way, the fact that his name is linked to the process is enough to make the RV conversation feel heavier, more real, and more urgent. Communities are already asking themselves what they would do if the revaluation were to happen under Trump's watch. Would they pay off their loans immediately? Would they finally buy that home they've dreamed of? Would they help family, invest in businesses, or retire early to travel the world? These kinds of questions are showing up daily in online forums, chat groups, and social media spaces. The dreams are growing larger with each mention of the phrase, next step. It has become more than speculation, it has become a kind of shared vision where people see Trump as the face of a financial breakthrough they have been waiting on for years. Now, we talk about revaluation. It's not just about one country flipping a switch. The process is layered and deeply tied to stability. Central banks worldwide have an instrumental role to play. For any currency to be revalued, conditions like financial security, government stability, and low inflation must align, and right now, people believe the environment is beginning to shift in the right direction. Some even point to recent global ceasefire agreements, such as between Israel and Iran, as signs that international stability is slowly building. If peace allows these nations to focus on rebuilding economies, it could strengthen the foundation. For a currency reset, Trump's connection to this process matters, because he is seen as someone who pushes timelines and demands results. The RV has been described as slow, secretive, and frustrating for years. But the thought of Trump stepping in changes the energy completely. People imagine him walking into a meeting with bankers and leaders demanding a clear plan and refusing to accept further delays. That kind of mental picture fires up communities who are tired of waiting. They want to face a strong voice, someone who embodies action. And right now, Trump's name gives that story exactly what it needs, a leader who symbolizes bold moves. The phrase, very important step, has become a rallying cry in these conversations. Communities interpret it as meaning that the process is moving forward behind the scenes. They believe that every step, even the ones we cannot see, is part of the larger march toward financial freedom. Some people visualize banks already preparing systems, testing platforms, and waiting for the green light. Others imagine nations aligning policies so the rollout looks smooth on a global scale. And in nearly every scenario, Trump is pictured as the figure at the center, guiding the process forward with determination. But let's not forget what this is really about for people. It's about hope. For years, the waiting has tested patience. Families have struggled, debts have grown, and faith has sometimes been hard to hold on to. Yet the possibility of an RV has kept communities connected. They remind each other daily that the process is real and worth the wait. Now, with Trump's involvement being whispered again, that hope is not just surviving, it's growing stronger. It is almost as if his presence brings the story into a new chapter. One where politics and finance merge to create something truly historic. We also need to look at how global stability plays into this narrative. When wars end and ceasefires take hold, nations suddenly free up resources to focus on economic rebuilding. This means less money spent on military conflict and more spent on infrastructure, jobs, and social programs. Investors pay close attention to these signs of stability because where there is peace, there is potential for profit. A stable environment builds confidence in currencies. And a strong currency means stronger trade, lower inflation, and greater opportunity for everyone. People now believe that these global shifts are lining up perfectly with the RV process, making Trump's involvement even more timely every day. Rumors surface online, and each rumor is treated like a clue. People watch closely for Trump's public statements, for his social media posts, and even for hints in his interviews. Any phrase that could connect him to the revaluation gets magnified instantly. It doesn't matter whether it's confirmed or not. What matters is the story feels alive. Communities thrive on that energy, repeating the phrase, very important step, again and again. It is this repetition that keeps belief strong, and belief itself has become part of the fuel that drives the RV narrative forward. Day after day, the psychology of this movement cannot be ignored. Humans are wired to hope for transformation, especially when times are uncertain. The RV represents a chance at new beginnings for many, represents freedom from the chains of financial struggle. Attaching Trump's name to that vision gives people a sense of urgency, and a sense that a powerful leader is standing at the front of the line. It makes the dream feel more personal, more tangible, as if it could move from rumor to reality at any moment. That is why this story is spreading faster now than it has in years. The combination of politics and finance is always explosive. But in this case, it is fueling worldwide speculation. People imagine secret negotiations where agreements are finalized. They imagine Trump demanding bold action while central banks align for a reset. The very idea sparks excitement, whether it is accurate or not. Because in truth, the RV is as much about imagination as it is about confirmation. The idea of waking up one morning to a new financial reality is powerful. And when tied to a figure like Trump, it takes on a whole new level of urgency and belief. So, here we are in 2025, watching the story unfold step by step. Communities remain alert, scanning news and whispers for any sign of movement. The phrase, very important step, tells people that progress is happening, even if it is hidden from public view. Trump's connection keeps the story personal, keeps the energy alive, and keeps hope burning across the globe. Whether this is political strategy, financial maneuvering, or destiny, one thing is clear: the RV conversation is louder than ever. And for millions who dream of freedom, that loud conversation is enough to keep moving forward today.